Okay, hi. Here we go again. So today's Friday, the 27th of September, 2019. And Friday, that's usually a good day for a lot of people. So I've been at work today. Work was good. It was a chill day at work today. I went to the gym during my break, so I'm a little exhausted now. And I was working 9 till 5, and now it's 6:04. So I wasn't. It wasn't too long ago. I was still there. Um, and yeah, it's been a long week actually. I've had a lot of extra shifts, and a few like extracurricular things as well going on. Um, I went out to get some bottomless. I went to a restaurant on Wednesday night after work because I had vouchers for bottomless wings. So obviously I had to go there and hook myself up with those endless wings. It's like you feel like you're in heaven, all those wings. And I'm talking about because of the angels, not just because I love wings. I got a fresh cup of Joe in my hand right now. I just brewed some fresh coffee, so it's tasting good. And we actually got Sober October coming up, and I actually won't even be drinking coffee during that time, so I'm really enjoying the last few cups of the good stuff. Tea and coffee, I'm quitting. I'm quitting tea and coffee and anything else that makes you not sober. I'm gonna keep at it with the CBD though because that makes me feel good. CBD as well, guys. Take that shit. That stuff is good. I'll actually go into how CBD oil has affected me, how I feel that it's affected me another time, but not right now. Right. Let me tell you a little bit of what's been going on at work this week. There was one lady that I was serving on the tills, and there was one lady on the till opposite me, a customer, and she had on sandals, and she was like quite heavy, like she had a above average probably mass. Her mass was probably above average for a typical like human woman. And I was just kind of spacing out a little bit at work while I was scanning this shopping, and then I looked at this lady, and I looked at her heel because she was wearing sandals. That's what I said. I looked at her heel, and then I mentioned that she was heavy, and I was thinking about like, oh damn, there's probably like those heels, and I'm talking not like high heels, like actual heel anatomy, the heel. Um, and I was thinking, yeah, damn, that's I was thinking how like amazing like anatomy and stuff is, and then I was thinking about how like her feet, her heels are probably bearing quite a strenuous load. And I looked at them, and you could even you could even see that they were bearing a strenuous load, because it looked like. And so back in primary school, we used to do PE, or games, sometimes they would call it. And in a lot of these games, excuse me, in a lot of these games, we would use these little bean bags, and they were like little like sacks full of beans, like hacky sacks kind of thing, but they were like kind of a square shape, like little pillows. They were like little pillows. We used to have full of beans, and they were probably about the size of like the palm of your hand. So we used to have these, and if you were to squeeze them, like back in the day, I remember like squeezing a couple of them sometimes, and you'd get all the beans pressed up against the fabric, and it would look like little like lumps on the surface of the beanbag. And her heel, as she like lent her weight on her heel, that's exact scenario was going on. It looked like beans from inside a beanbag were pressing up against her skin, and I was like, damn. And it really I just thought straight of beanbags right away when I saw these visuals, and I was like, damn, it looked like her heel was about to like bust open, and a bunch of beans were gonna come scurrying across the the supermarket lino flooring. And I was like, I don't know, man. That just made me think a little bit, like, damn, like, but like our bodies are really durable, So that was one thing that really stood out at work this week. What else at work? Not too much at work, really. I've just been grinding through it. You'll notice again, there's no visuals again, and apologies for that. But and this links into why I've been picking up some extra shifts, because I'm a little broke right now, and and I don't have a quality phone at the moment, so I'm trying to get some extra cash. And don't get me wrong, like I'm banded up. I stay banded up, but that's kind of more in my head than actually, for real. But yeah, I'm banded up, but sometimes you just have to get those racks up on on infinity every now and again, just to flex. But I was oh man, what was I saying? Something about what? Oh yeah. So that's why I've been working an extra bit, because I'm trying to get a new phone at the moment, and I've got a little deal at work that I've got my eye on. So I think by next payday, we gonna be out here with the the megapixels. Them megapixels, them I'm gonna be coming at you like a Scorsese film next week. And I don't even really know his films, I just know that he's a director, I think. So this one might be a bit of a slow one today, but I'm a little tired, and it's been a long week, and yeah, my mind's moving a little slow. But hopefully, this cup of Joe, helps really kick things up into the next gear. Because I feel like that kind of second gear kind of guy right now. I had a really nice conversation with a friend last night. It's actually part of the podcast that we're gonna release at some point. I feel like we're still kind of trying to get to create a dynamic with one another. We've always been good friends, but just like to figure out a dynamic, just to figure out a dynamic that will be entertaining. That's something we want to do before we actually release the podcast. But we recorded a really cool conversation last night. It got real deep. We started talking about feels and stuff, and I'm wearing headphones today, which I don't always do, and I feel like I'm like doing an ASMR video or something, because I can hear like what I'm saying in my, like, how you're gonna hear it, and it sounds like, it's not just the regular resonance that you hear when you talk, like in your head. It's like, this is like that external, it's like an external Barrie's coming and just like getting up in my ears, and I feel like I'm doing that ASMR kind of like, hey guys, so today I'm gonna eat a pizza, and you're gonna listen to it, and it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, that's kind of cool. But yeah, I had a cool feeling driven conversation with my good friend yesterday, and it went really well, and it's feeling good for the podcast that I'll be doing with him soon. So yeah, that was nice. And man, sometimes just like sitting down and talking with someone, like just like making a point, like, okay, we're gonna talk. I think we did almost 2 hours. But it's really nice, and you really get to know the person more, even if it's someone you think like you already know really well. Like, I've known this guy most of my life. It's like you really get to see like their outlook on life, and that's something you don't get to kind of like fully know about everyone. So that was cool, man. That was cool. So I feel like we've had a nice little warm up chat. So let's get into the art stuff. Like I said, I've been working a lot this week. So I haven't done too much artwork. It's just been really busy, and had plans to do some stuff, but I had the opportunity to pick up some extra shifts. So some of those plans, kind of fell through, and sometimes you just have to make some sacrifices if you want to stay banded up, But yeah, I did work on some things. I worked on a few things, and I got that t-shirt design ready, and that's in the pipeline now. But also next week I'm working a lot, so I'm not gonna be able to get to the stew next week. So hopefully the week after. But I'm not putting too much pressure on myself because we gotta get banded up first, and then as soon as I get the opportunity, I'm gonna print those. But it would be silly to do it now when I could be working. Just like I'm just gonna put it on hold for the time being. But I still practiced some drawing this week. I didn't actually make it to live drawing because, like I said, I was too busy getting those bottomless wings, boy, bruh. So listen, you can't blame me because if you had a voucher and it was gonna expire next week, and then the only opportunity you had to get bottomless wings was on the day that you do live drawing, and this voucher expires, whereas live drawing goes on for yet to be decided amount of time, could be my whole life. So you don't get your whole life to have bottomless wings, but you can, if you like, find a live drawing class every time. So I was eating wings instead of live drawing this week, and I'm proud of that. But I did do some other type of drawing, not live drawing, some still life, if you would. It wasn't really still life, it was more just still. Because I wasn't really drawing from, I was drawing from a picture, not an actual 3D, I drew a car. I drew a Honda Civic, and it was like a little practice drawing because I like drawing cars, and it's something I like to do every now and again, and I want to get better at it. So when you want to get better at something, you practice it every so often, and then this week happened to be one of those so often times. So therefore, I now have a picture of a Honda Civic that I drew on. I think I did that on Tuesday, and it's a nice little drawing actually. It was all like nothing digital. It's all traditional. Even got some little pencil shading on there. It kept it quite simple, I didn't want to go like too deep into it because it was just a little practice piece. But I might try and get it up on screen if I can. I thought, I might even I really liked it. It's not like my best drawing, but for it just had a bit of charm to it that it just kind of charmed me. So because of that, I'm actually gonna frame this piece and then put it in my room because I think it will look nice in a frame, and for some reason I really like it, and I feel like it deserves a frame, and it deserves a spot on my wall. So that was nice. That was cool. I did some brainstorming this week, and that coffee sip was definitely some ASMR action. Man, ASMR videos is so what the hell? And they just all of a sudden kind of just came out of the blue, it's just like one day there was no ASMR videos, the next there's millions, and then you just get guys and girls doing all kinds of crazy things just on a microphone, like scratching their nuts and like slurping a long piece of spaghetti. Like slurp. Who wants to hear somebody slurp on a long piece of spaghetti, like on YouTube? I don't know. Oh man, I saw this guy begging for money on my way home, and there's like this little junction where these a few of them, like a few people, they go around and ask cars when they stop at the lights. They ask them for some change, and this guy that came up, like, I usually say no because I think, I don't want to encourage people like kind of getting in the way of traffic. So therefore, like, I kind of usually don't. I'd rather give like money to someone who's like not in the road. And that's just me. But this guy today, man, he really got me, man. He was old and he had the limp and he had like, and man, like, and he had like it looked like he had the whole Vatican around his neck. He had like just all of these Christian kind of lockets with like little, like it was like a little like necklace thing, and it had like in it had like loads of pictures of like holy figures like from the Bible. Had like Mary and Jesus chilling on there, and then it had like some of the other extras that they have in there as well, like Jesus and Mary and friends. He had like all of them, and then a little cross in the middle. And man, I don't know, something about that just was like, you know what? Let me crank down my window and give him some change. So, yeah. But yeah, I drew that nice car this week. And I also did some brainstorming. And the reason I did that was because I've spoken about how I want to kind of develop my work a little bit more in terms of like having a background story to it, and just like a more setting the scene for my illustration work. And I kind of sat down and I brainstormed, and some real like great ideas came to mind. Some sci-fi stuff, and a bit of that kind of stuff, like technology kind of evolution of that. Some vehicles type stuff. All of that virtual reality kind of thing. And it was, I came up with some good ideas, and it's all like a bit of like up in the air ramblings right now, but it was just nice to be able to sit down and brainstorm and actually come up with a lot of stuff, and it's encouraging, and I feel confident that I'll be able to come up with like some kind of engaging stories for my artwork. So yeah, that was all good. That was all good for this week, and that was the only really real art I did this week. Just because where I've been busy, and I've been having wings and stuff, like buffalo wings. Sometimes buffalo wings get in the way of you can't draw and eat buffalo wings at the same time. Your paper's gonna get all greasy, and you're gonna ruin your work. So that's why I couldn't. But yeah, I've been really enjoying like thinking about those kind of stories and how I can apply story to my illustration, and just really getting into it. I'm really like wrapping myself really inside my artwork, it feels like these days. And it's really nice. Like, I'm so grateful to have a passion like this where I can really kind of lose myself in it and just be fully creative. And I feel like it's a bit of an upward spiral at the moment when it comes to my artwork and my creativity. It's been flowing really well, and it's like I just love thinking about it. Like, even just thinking about it these days, it's like I'm really curious to see how far, like, these concepts and like this, like my skill set, how far it can expand, and I'm enjoying figuring out ways of how I can expand and improve, and like just looking at other areas of life and even applying some of the stuff that I'm learning through my artwork and my creativity and applying it to other areas. It's a good feeling. Feels like I don't know. It just feels like progression. And yeah, and that's really what I'm living for at the moment. And it does get a bit annoying, like the fact that I have to work extra, and it kind of like it takes me away from it. But also it's like it keeps me grounded, work, it just reminds me that, regardless of how excited you are about your own artwork, people still need to pick up their shopping, and they still need a shopping trolley, and the life still goes on outside of what your own personal interests are. So it kind of humbles me, my job, and it just keeps me grounded. But yeah, I'm loving how the creative flow is going at the moment, and I'm just excited to see where it goes, and I'm excited to update you next week about how it's developed, and how I've developed, to be honest, because it's really focusing on this has really helped me like developing my artwork. It's really helping me like develop myself and my belief in myself, and just all of that. So so I'm gonna just keep at it, and like I said, I'm excited to update you guys next week. Let me just think if I've got any like things that I want to just maybe bring up before I sign off. Keep an eye out on my Instagram. I post updates of things that I'm working on, that even stuff that I might not talk about on here, just little like doodles and stuff I like to post on there, and you can see like my Honda Civic drawing, posting updates on that. And I'll probably next week, where I'm working so much, the only artwork I'll probably be doing is probably just framing my that piece. So if you want to follow along, see how that's looking, hit me up on Instagram. That's Barrie Leachman on Instagram, and that's Barrie with an IE, by the way, and none of this BARRY. That's that. Ooh, imagine being called Barrie and it's spelled BARRY. So there's that. Yeah, check out my Instagram, Barrie Leachman, and that's Leachman with LEA, not LEECH. It's LEACH. And also have a look at my website. I've got some stuff up on the store. got the new stickers and also some screen prints on there, some dope stuff. So if you're into nice art, I recommend you have a look. And I'll put those 2 links in the description for you. And thanks for listening today. Just enjoy the weekend. And I'll see you next time.